Hydraulic leak diagnosis without losing your mind. Introduction. A hydraulic leak on a tractor is one of those things that starts as a small puddle under the three-point hitch and ends with you standing in a slick patch 3 hours later, no closer to finding the source, smelling like hydraulic fluid, and questioning every life decision that brought you here. I've chased hydraulic leaks on John Deere 4020s, Case 580s, and everything in between. The guys who fix it fast are the ones who slow down first. Let me show you how I diagnose a hydraulic leak without losing my mind, or the better part of a Saturday. The symptoms hydraulic leaks aren't all the same, and that matters when you're trying to find them. Here's what you might be seeing: slow seep at rest, a small wet spot under the tractor that gets bigger overnight. Usually a static seal, O-rings, pipe plugs, or a fitting that wasn't tightened enough. Leak only under pressure, dry when it's sitting, but dripping when you lift implements or engage the hydraulic remotes. That's a dynamic seal problem: piston seals, cylinder shaft seals, or a valve body gasket letting go under load. Misting or spray, a fine hydraulic mist coating everything near the hoses is a pinhole in a high-pressure line. Don't put your hand near it. A pinhole hydraulic spray can inject fluid under your skin and send you to the ER. I'm serious about that. Sluggish lift or hunting, sometimes a leak isn't external at all. Internal bypass in a cylinder or worn pump means you're losing pressure inside the system. The fluid stays in, but it's not doing its job. Diagnosing the problem before you start replacing parts: here's how I work through it. Clean everything first. Steam clean or degrease the whole back half of the tractor. I know it sounds like extra work, but you cannot find a small leak on a greasy tractor. You just end up chasing old oil stains. Degrease it, dry it, and then run it. Find the high point. Hydraulic fluid runs downhill. The wet spot on the ground is almost never where the leak started. Look up. Trace the staining upstream, back toward the cylinder, the valve, or the hose connection that's actually letting go. Use UV dye. If you can't find it visually, add a few ounces of UV dye to the hydraulic reservoir, cycle the system under load for 10 minutes, then hit it with a UV light in a dim shop. That dye will light up the leak source like a neon sign. Best $15 diagnostic tool I own. Check the easy stuff first. Fittings loosen up. Hose clamps back off. Drain plugs vibrate loose. Before you pull a cylinder, check every fitting and plug by hand. I have fixed more than a few big leaks with a 3/4 wrench and 30 seconds of work. Cycle the system to isolate. Engage each hydraulic function one at a time: 3-point, remotes, power steering, and watch where the leak appears. If it only weeps when the 3-point is under load, your problem is in that circuit. Narrow it down before you start disassembling things. What it usually turns out to be, in my experience, about 70% of hydraulic leaks on older tractors come down to 4 things: a dried-out O-ring on a fitting or valve body, a shaft seal on a cylinder that's been sitting too long, a cracked or chafed hydraulic hose, or a leaking top cover gasket on the hydraulic pump housing. The shaft seals and O-rings are cheap parts. The labor is what gets you if you don't know what you're looking for. That's why the service manual matters, because on a JD 4020 or a Case 580, there are specific torque specs and seal fit sequences that, if you skip them, you'll be doing the job twice. The repair once you've found the source, the fix is usually straightforward, but do it right. Use the correct seal kit for your machine. Don't substitute generic O-rings on a high-pressure hydraulic fitting. They're not rated for it and you'll be back under the tractor in a month. Follow the service manual for your specific model. On a 4020, the hydraulic systems section walks you through the top cover removal, pump inspection, and cylinder seal replacement in detail. On the Case 580, the backhoe hydraulic circuit has its own section separate from the 3-point. Make sure you're looking at the right one. If you need the manual, find your model at the manual store catalog. We carry printed service manuals, not PDFs, so you're not squinting at a laptop in the shop. Tools you'll need: UV dye leak detection kit, find it on Amazon O-ring pick set, find it on Amazon hydraulic fitting wrench set, crow's foot, find it on Amazon seal driver set, find it on Amazon hydraulic cylinder seal kit, model specific, find it on Amazon. You can spend all weekend swapping parts hoping to stumble on the answer, or you can do the diagnostic work and go right to the problem. In 30+ years of Iowa farm and shed work, I've watched a lot of guys throw $100 in parts at a leak they never found. Get the service manual for your